Hey everybody, Matt Barton here with this week's Broker Minute or Two. As a principal broker, you get a lot of interesting experiences, as you might imagine. One it's interesting, but it's not enjoyable, is from time to time, I will either hear directly or indirectly that an agent feels like they don't have support. It's pretty rare, but it happens from time to time. And so today's message, I wanted to talk about Remax Associates and the various support mechanisms that are in place. Listen, don't tune out because I've asked several agents about these things and they miss some of them. So I want to make sure you have a complete understanding of the various levels of support that are available. So first of all, about 18 months ago, uh, we started a real robust effort to make sure that our office managers, since they are almost always a point of contact, were trained more and more about contracts and the important components and disclosures and what's required and all those things. And you know what? They are fantastic. They have ramped up their game and they are a wealth of information. So we really have, as I see it, three levels of support. And the first one is for your office managers. So don't ever discount them. We have monthly trainings, plural, where we go through various contracts and disclosures and everything that's pertinent to a transaction. So they are a great wealth. And if they don't happen to know something, they've got a fast track, easy access to the area brokers or myself as the principal broker. Okay, that brings me to the second level. About 5 months ago now, 4 or 5 months ago now, we actually restructured the company, right? We broke it into three geographical areas, a north, a central, and a south. Quick little side note, one of my goals is to make sure that as quickly as possible, we divide that central area via growth into a Salt Lake and a Utah County, but that we're not there yet. But anyway, in each of those areas, we have two dedicated personnel. One is an area broker, and let me just tell you who those are. In the north, it's Julie Dunaway. In the central, it is Dan Dixon. And in the south, it is Neil Gibbs. They have a counterpart that they work together as a team with. And the counterpart is known as an area selection manager. Think growth, think recruiting. We use the term selection because we're inviting people to our organization because we are really have a lot to offer. And so the area broker in each area, as well as the area selection manager, work as a team. The third, and our area brokers, we do a ton of training, as well as the selection managers. We meet. We have been meeting weekly, and now it's only 3 times out of a month. So, but we want to make sure that we have a top-notch offering for our agents and support them. And then the third one, of course, is at my level as the principal broker. And let me just say this. Outside of process and procedure, which we have to have some for a company to run well, everybody that I work with, whether it's area brokers, whether it's Daryl in operations, whether it's Ron, we always want to do what's right and helpful. We just try and put some structure in place so it flows relatively well. So when you get to the third level of support, principal broker, think things like, I don't know, broker to broker issues where you have a contract that's gone sideways and the parties aren't cooperating, or maybe the other agent isn't. That's where I get involved. That's one of the avenues I get involved in, is broker to broker issues on contracts. Certainly in-depth, tricky contract things, I'm always a resource for that. It's not that I can't do the mundane, but there's only so many hours in a day, and that's why we have this strata of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. In addition to that, code of ethics, arbitrations, complaints with the Division of Real Estate, and the worst one, obviously, that we want to steer clear of at all costs are lawsuits and legal proceedings. So that's kind of my level. Yeah, imagine how fun my existence is, right? But no, I've done this for a good long time, and hopefully I can bring some knowledge and experience to the equation if things ever get to those sideways levels. Additionally, I want to talk about, outside of the three levels of support, I want to make sure you're aware of these additional things. One, we have a broker backup line. So there's 3 area brokers. There's myself as the principal broker. There's Daryl in operations. There's Ron Snow So there's a lot of broker support, but sometimes things are critical. So we created a broker support line, and that number is 801-365, I think 365 days in a year, and 3131. Now, what is the purpose of that broker support line? um, the four brokers, the three area brokers and myself, we rotate each week, and one person is responsible to man that line. Now, we always instruct the agents, go to your area broker first, right? Especially during business hours. But if for some reason they're in a meeting, if some reason it's after hours, and we try and put some guardrails on that, kind of 5 to 7 after hours. We all have lives, and we need to make sure our families stay happy with us. Or on Saturdays, there will be a broker that mans that line. So those aren't supposed to be used for, the trivial and the mundane, or things you can go to your area broker, right? Don't be lazy and just speed dial that broker support line. We want to be able to make sure that it's used for its intended purpose, which is if somebody's not available, go ahead and utilize that line, and there should be somebody manning that during not only business hours, but extended business hours. Then the last thing, well, two more things. Let me share my screen. I hope you're all aware of this, right? This is, let me move my picture here, RE/MAX of Utah, and if you click on Training Vault, I know we talk about this, but I have a feeling a lot of you just like let it pass in one ear and out the other, but it is a great resource. If you look across this ribbon at the top, there's some key sections. I get people say, I don't know how to use KV Core. It's a great asset. I know you're giving it to me for free, even though it would cost me a lot more money if I bought it myself, but I don't know how to use it. Well, we actually took the time to create, Aaron Menard, myself, and Dan Dixon created training modules, 5 training modules. They're about an hour each, to talk you through the different components of KV Core and put it to work for you. We have through Gold Nation MEC. So, for instance, a really great one that came out with the lawsuits and everything was T360's President and CEO Jack Miller giving us kind of the future of buyer agent compensation. There's great training on that. Close to my heart is the Principal Brokers Contracts and Negotiation Training, and we have all the previous episodes, recorded. That happens the second and fourth Mondays of each month at 10 o'clock. Then, of course, what you're listening to now, Principal Broker Minutes, which are, we archive these because sometimes we get the same questions over and over again, and we're not always available. So you can always come here and search for something like disclosures or whatever else, and it'll pop up videos that will be hopefully helpful in your individual needs. So anyway, just remember, Training Vault, right? Can be very helpful as a resource. And then I just say our additional resources through Gold Nation, the trainings that they put on, the industry updates and things like that. So coming full circle, I hope I never hear from anybody in this company that, gosh, I don't feel like I've got support. We have live body support. We have backup phone support. You have your office manager support. You have online support. But gosh, if there's ever ways that we can improve, we would certainly like to hear those ideas. But I've been with several companies, including my own. I've been with big Realogy companies, small to large independents, and I haven't been with a company yet that throws so much time, energy, effort, and resources in making sure our agents are supported. So I would simply ask this question: if you ever find yourself saying, I don't feel like I'm getting support at this company, please consider this message and make sure that you have actually looked at what's available and utilized it before making that statement. Anyway, I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk soon.